Yeah, here
Hello.
he is, our favorite opera singer from England.
Hi. How are we doing? How are we doing?
We are doing
Doing
great.
well.
It's been a little over like a year and a half since we had you on.
Yeah.
And your rabid fan base constantly messaged me or is commenting on posts from like 3 years ago when we had you first on. They're still like, when's John coming on? When's John coming on? This is a great interview. You should have him on again. I'm like, it was okay interview, but I guess we'll have John on again. Fine.
At the behest of the requests, yeah. I know, what can I say? I'm always grateful to the wonderful people. They're very, very enthusiastic. That's kept me afloat for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So Jonathan, big 4th of July plans over in England? Is that still a big thing over there?
No. No, it would be. I mean, I'm surprised we don't celebrate it at this point. We're so sort of interconnected culturally, but yeah, no, we will probably at my house have like a barbecue or something, because why not?
So
Strange.
it's been a year and a half or so since we spoke to you. How have you been keeping busy? I see your Instagram posts and things that you're going on. You seem like you're all over the place again. But so what's the latest news in John Antoine?
It's I'm in a weird position, I've got to say, because I think I've been posting a lot, I've been talking a lot about kind of vague stuff, but there's sort of this whole domino chain of things that I've been trying to set up and that I'm still in the process of setting up. I mean, I've got 2 novels that I've been working on just as a side thing.
Nice.
The other month I wrote 7 or 8 heavy metal EPs that I've just got like hidden away, stored away. Just I felt like it, and but those are sort of just the passion projects. Where when it comes to the actual work, I have several things in the works at the moment that are incomprehensibly massive, but I can't actually say anything about them, right? It's
Okay.
so but that in itself is an exclusive. Jonathan Antoine is working on big things.
Nice. That's gonna be interesting combination if you release these heavy metal projects and your like opera audience combining together. I feel like that's gonna be, you might get quite a group.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the metal stuff. It's all.
You gotta put it
I'm
out.
not like a producer or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
so maybe I'll re-record it, make it good someday. Maybe it'll come. Who knows? It's just it's nice. It's kind of funny that even my relaxing is still music, right? But it's nice to do something that's so different that I'm also passionate for.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like the last time we talked to you, you were kind of getting into like doing a lot of songs that were, you would not really picture being opera based, and kind of putting your spin. It seems like you were starting to branch out into different things, and now a year later, you're telling us you wrote novels and heavy metal records. So I feel like this is kind of cool to see you doing different creative things.
Yeah, it's I feel like, yeah, particularly over the last sort of year, maybe 6 months, I've had a kind of like just this awakening of wanting to do everything again. There was a time, that childlike wonder of being young and being like, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a fireman. I feel like I've recaptured a little bit of that. And that's
so you're
that's
telling
been
us you're
really
going to be an
wonderful.
astronaut soon.
Oh, nice. In space they can't hear you sing, right?
Well, actually, that is true. Yeah, we've got some issues. We've got some issues that we've got to rectify here. No, I am working. I'm working sincerely on my fitness and myself. That's been a huge part recently. This shirt's like 2 or 3
I was going to say, you look good, man.
smaller.
You look like you slimmed down a little bit.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's not showing too much, but I feel it, and that's
great.
that I think is what matters. I think I've missed 2 days so far this year of doing 10,000 steps every day. That's my baseline, and then I do a little bit of extra sprinkled throughout the day. And
so let me ask you,
watching
with getting in better health and better fitness, do you feel that on stage too? Like as far as your ability to project or sing, or is there really no difference?
It's less about sort of the ability and more about the confidence, right? It's about having the confidence that I'm not gonna even like feeling less sweaty on stage, which it's a trivial sounding thing, but like when you're my size, like it comes in floods.
I just talked about this on the last episode of the podcast. I have a problem too. The minute I grab the microphone to do stand up, I am like sweating, and I don't know what it is. It's not because I'm nervous. It's just I don't know. I have I guess it's this pale Irish skin of mine. I just sweat nonstop. It's just
so basically, when we have the Verbal Shenanigans comedy show with Joanthan Antoine, the first 3 rows are going to be a splash show. Is that what you two are telling us?
Ponchos.
Why do you think he has those capes? They're not for anything else but
that's wrap around myself. It's protection. That's it.
Awesome, now, man. Speaking of other projects, I heard you're also doing like voice acting for video games. What's that experience like?
Cool. I haven't really started professionally. I did a few projects many years ago, but they never came to light. It's something I've always been interested in, though. It's I've amongst all the hubbub of trying to work out one career path, I haven't had an awful lot of time to do that. But there's I want to work more with my words. I think that I have a few things to say, and it's very vague. It's an easy way to put out many messages by singing about them and by making music about them. But when you have to put your feelings into words, it puts your ideology to the test, I think. And I find a lot of joy and a lot of self-fulfillment in having my ideologies tested, and and talking to people and finding out what they think and how the world works.
Right. It's funny. I thought of you the other day.
Has a camera thing where his video shoots up a little bit. He'll be back in one
No problem.
Yeah.
It was just a protracted there.
I'm coming back.
Hey, welcome back.
You kind of sounded like you're about to sing us a little song there, Scotty.
How'd you know? That was my plan, to break out my rendition of. So, no, I thought of you the other day. I was watching, flipping through Instagram or whatever, and I saw this clip of Louis Capaldi on stage at was it Glastonbury the festival, or I know it was some, and he, I know that he's known for being open about his struggles with Tourette's and mental health, and I thought about you the other day too, because I know in previous interviews we've talked about you were very open with like issues that you've had and bullying and mental health. And I don't know if you saw the clip, but it was a pretty powerful clip. Like he was on stage, he was having a very hard time with like his tics and whatnot. He really couldn't get the song out, and the entire festival basically sang the song for him while he was on stage. I was just curious if you saw that and if that connected with you at all.
I didn't see that. Just you telling me that gave me goosebumps, though, man.
Yeah,
that sort of stuff. It's the community of humankind, right? It's where we all find this incredible value in the things that the expression that someone has, and we can all come together and we're better for it. It's I'm gonna have to find that.
It's very cool. And I was just wondering, curious too, like has anything like ever happened with you on stage like that, where the performance just isn't there? Or something, whether it's mental health, physical, or something like you're just having a really hard night at the office, like where you almost have to figure out a different way to get through the show. Has that ever happened with you?
I mean, maybe not in the beautifully dramatic sense of that, but in a way, I think every time you go on stage, there's like that. It's a struggle to know if it's going to be exactly what you want it to be, if everyone's going to be enjoying themselves, and it's usually getting out there, seeing the people on stage, if you're lucky enough to have, like a band or something. But perhaps, more importantly is when you look out and you see an expectant crowd, and it's strange when you're backstage. All of these horrifying imaginary things can happen where it's like, oh, I'm gonna bomb and they're gonna hate it, but they're there for you. Even if you make mistakes, that's like, it's a feature to people who are watching. It's not a glitch, it's
right.
It's that magic. You can't get a mistake from a recording.
Right.
So it's the opposite of stand-up comedy. I mean,
yeah,
basically everybody's there. It's like, come on, bomb, baby, bomb, baby, bomb.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, I think that in all performing things, there'll be some people who do want to see you fail, but hopefully, fingers crossed, they get outweighed by the ones who want you to succeed.
As you're doing, like, thinking of more projects, trying different things, is there ever a point where you're almost, I don't want to say bored by it, but almost a little shunned by, hey, we want you to do like the same old thing or go to the same old venue or anything like that, where it kind of goes like, yeah, it's fine, but at the same time, I got to see what else is out there.
I want to push myself.
Yeah, in a sense, it's a hard balancing act, really. Because I love all the things that I've done, and I respect deeply all of the connections and the people who have helped get me there, but it must also be taken that a human needs new things to crop up. So yeah, there is that balancing, but I think that through, again, the last couple of years, I've been finding that kind of within myself. I think unfortunately there's no recipe for it. It's just something that's down to your personal chemistry, right? You got to find what works for you.
Yeah, we've had so many artists, bands, musicians, you name it, on the show over the years, and I'm always curious to talk about them. It still seems that live performance is where one, they enjoy the most, but two, where they really that's where they make their where they make their money. I'm curious how it with opera and the opera genre, are record sales still even like a factor, or is it still like 100%? Okay, live is where we're gonna cut our teeth and where we're gonna make a living.
Yeah, so record sales are still a factor. You have your incredibly high volume sellers who, I think, like Andre Rieu personally, he has so many and they're so utilized. People listen to them and they buy them.
Right.
So there is sort of you could call it like a hierarchy in a way, which you can get into that. But it really is. I think because of the production costs of doing these things, I don't know anyone, even the top sellers, who are making back anything really significant, because and that it's a testament to how much people care about the authenticity of the work, because there are so many really good software instruments that you could be using, but people want that the human sound, and that, unfortunately or fortunately for all of us in the industry, costs money. So,
and are you guys putting are they putting opera records on vinyl? Because the vinyl seems to be the only thing that's still like physically selling, and people are very, very into, like, even more now than 10 years ago.
I do see. It's strange. I feel like that corner of the market hasn't been super utilized in the classical realm. I've put out a couple of actually my older stuff on vinyl, but I haven't. Again, production costs. Putting it on vinyl is an extra cost that you then have to.
Yeah, there's a vinyl shortage too. Like, my brother works in the record industry, and like they'll delay bands' albums for a year and a half, 2 years, till they have the ability to get vinyl, because it's the only thing that's like physically selling. So, interesting.
It's wild.
Oh,
it is wild.
when I always try to prepare for an interview coming up, I try to look up YouTubes and articles and stuff like that. And I found it weird. A week ago, a site, the Star Factor, put out a thing, what really happened to Joanthan Antoine. And it's the most tabloidy thing I ever heard. Like they're telling your story and it's like, but why is Charlotte no longer there? And it's like to keep on like leading up to this big reveal and whatever, to just say, oh, they just did solo albums or stuff like. So I'm just kind of curious, have you gotten some of these like tabloidy things or saw things about yourself where you just like shake your head?
Oh yeah, constantly. I think that the wonderful thing about like online print media is just how wacky it gets, right? Because a lot of like websites in particular, just random websites, people don't hold them accountable, so you can kind of just make up whatever you like. It is wild. All the websites with like the height thing, like I don't know that I've even told anyone my height, right? Like it's just even those basic things, and then people speculating about my life and where I've been, what went wrong, what went right, what does he look like now. It's just nice that people are thinking about me. Honestly, I'll take it.
And like I said, the kind of the reason we one, we like you, but two, like your fans obviously like you because they keep asking. Like I get messages like, when's John coming back? Like, yeah, I don't care about these other guys who have, like, some of them I think would be happy if we just brought you in as like the host and you were just here weekly, because that's all they ask us about, which is cool.
It's incredible for me, right? My apologies, but it's incredible for me.
Stop doing that career thing, Jonthan. We need you.
But one of the staples here on the show is playing really stupid games. So I was wondering, John, if you would like to partake in one of our Verbal Shenanigans games here.
I'd love to.
Okay. All right. So let me give you a little background. Okay. It's been interesting because Mike has been talking a ton of trash lately. He's been saying things to me like, oh, why does Johnson get all the attention? His voice is nowhere near as good as mine. I'm the real opera king of the Verbal Shenanigans universe. I'm like constantly saying all these things. Mike, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's vicious.
Well, the way I look at it, Scott, is real singers only use 2 notes.
Yeah, so I don't know what's up with Mike lately. But he even said, like, you know what? I'm down to challenge John. I'm down, to really take the title here.
So I don't remember saying it, but it sounds like me. So let's go with it.
So today we're going to put you guys to the test in a little game I call Hit the High Note. So as you know, Mike, scales in traditional Western music generally consist of 7 notes, right? You know that, right?
I mean, I guess so. I go to a higher scale, but I digress.
Yeah. And so they repeat at the octave. And in this game, your opera knowledge will be on the line. You will each race to get 7 correct answers. You must start at do. Okay, and make your way through re, mi, fa, sol, la, and ti to win the game. Okay, if you get a question wrong, it is the other person's turn. They will leave off at that note, and the first person to ti is the winner. Sound good?
I think so.
Okay,
that's how I sound when he makes these games.
There's also just one catch.
Okay.
The further you get, the higher your voice must be to answer the question.
Right.
Okay.
So I have a coin here, Mike. I'm going to let you call it in the air.
All right.
What do you got?
Tails.
It is heads. John, would you like to go first, or would you like to defer to Mike?
I guess I should go first. Why not? Let's, confidence.
Right,
confidence.
That's it, John. So you are on the do round here, John. The La Scala Opera House is located in what city? Is it A, Milan, B, Paris, or C, Madrid?
That'll be A, Milan.
A, Milan. John, you are already crushing Mike. On to the Ray round. Mike, did you know that answer?
That would probably have been my guess. I mean, I called them many times. They sounded Milanian, so.
All right, John, on to the Ray. You are now at your lowest register. Now we're going higher. Which city in Germany had the most opera premieres by Richard Wagner? Is it A, Berlin, B, Munich, or C, Dresden?
I'm going to say B, Munich. Oh, I'm probably wrong. My opera knowledge is terrible.
B, Munich is correct. It is correct. You might not even give Mike a turn here. You might not even give Mike a turn.
It would save our audience if you didn't give me a turn.
Heart's pumping. Let's go.
All right. You are on to the me round. The me. The opera house in which city is haunted by a fictional phantom? Is it A, Sydney, B, Paris, or C, London? Haunted by a fictional phantom.
Is this? Oh, I think it's London. I think there's one that's haunted in London.
The answer, John, is Paris. It is Paris.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry, John. You are stuck in the me round, which sends it over to Mike.
All right.
All right, Mike. You are on the dough round here. What is the text of an opera called? Is it A, libretto, B, operetta, or C, cantata? What is the text of an opera called?
I think it's A
libretto. Mike, you are correct. You are correct, which brings you to the Ray round, catching up to John Antoine himself. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Mike. Sticking in the John Antoine universe. Okay. At 14, Jonathan attended which school? Was it A, the Opera Developmental Academy, B, the Youth Vocal School, or C, the Royal Academy of Music?
I'm trying to figure out what Ray is in my head to get so I can legally say the answer. Ray B,
the Youth Vocal School, Mike?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. John, can you tell him the correct answer here? It is the Royal Academy of Music,
Royal
correct?
Academy, yes. Oh. Yeah, the junior department specifically. Under the tutelage of Sarah Reynolds, absolute legend.
I was going to guess Sarah Reynolds, but I didn't know the other stuff.
So. All right, John. You are on the me round. What inspires?
Can I get one about myself?
I might. We'll see how this game goes, and if I want to quit.
You gotta know what school I went to, okay?
John, what inspires the design of the Sydney Opera House in Australia? Is it sails of boats, ice mountains, or seashells? What is the design supposed to look like?
I think it's the sails of boats, and I am currently working with an Australian man who's going to be very upset with me if I got this wrong.
John, that man is going to be upset because apparently it's supposed to look like seashells. It's supposed to look like seashells.
It was the seashells.
Oh,
I just see him singing on stage. He's like, not seashell worthy. Get off.
Just not
leave.
Mike, over to you in the Ray round. Which book by John Steinbeck has been adapted into an opera? Is it Of Mice and Men, Tortilla Flat, or The Grapes of Wrath?
I think it's C.
C, The Grapes of Wrath, Mike?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It is Of Mice and Men. I am sorry. Back over to John. Mike, I did like the singing, though. Good job.
Thank you.
Doing well.
Very, very.
I'm going to get some of them Fantwans over to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. John, which city opened the first public opera house? Was it Venice, Sicily, or Milan? The first public opera house.
No, all in Italy. How could you do this to me? It can't be Venice, can it?
Well, it can't be in that note. That doesn't sound like Ray.
Exactly. I'm not answering. I'm merely speculating.
Yep, he's thinking.
Hence it in Europe.
Sorry, what was B again?
Venice, Sicily, or Milan?
Let's go with Sicily. Why not?
Oh, John. Oh, John, you should have went with your gut. It was Venice. It was Venice.
Oh, man.
He doesn't trust the gut as much anymore. He's been exercising a lot.
He lost so much of it. He doesn't have that feel for it.
I'm gonna lose the mass, regain some of the trust. Okay.
All right, over to Mike. We'll stick in the Antoine universe. What year was Jonathan Antoine on BGT or Britain's Got Talent? Was it 15, 2017, or 2012?
I know for a fact it's 2012.
2012 is correct, Mike. It sounded beautiful. You sang it correctly. You guys are now tied. Can Mike take a lead here? Okay,
it ain't symphony, it's symphony. Okay.
Brilliant.
All right. Sticking in the Antoine universe, in November 2022, John launched a recording project with artist Cher for an album called By Request, The Blank Songbook Volume 1. Was it the Diane Warren, the Gloria Gaynor, or the Diana Ross Songbook Volume 1?
Me, going with B.
You're going with Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike. That would be the Diane Warren. Warren.
Thank you for the shot. I'll take it.
Okay, over to John. Okay. What was the first opera written in English in the world? Was it A, The Siege of Rhodes, B, Lovers Made Men, or C, Venus and Adonis?
I don't think it's B. It's either A or C. And I'm just going to have to guess that it's C. Oh, no.
Oh, John, it's A. It's A. It's The Siege of Rhodes.
I've always these 50-50s. What is with me? Last time we did a game, I think I performed exactly as well as this too.
Oh God, guys, we might have to stop at the fa. This might go to fa.
Scott's like, I didn't make that many questions. Oh no.
You kind of read between the lines.
Whoops.
Oh, and there he went.
Wasn't quite our incredible knowledge. See, that's I think it's a great illustration. People expect me to be pretty knowledgeable, but I sing and I love what I do.
I show up and go home. I don't read the books.
Okay. Mike, what's often regarded as the first opera in the world? Is it A, L'Orfeo Monteverdi? Is it B, Daphne Paris? Or C, Eurydice Caccini?
Me. Thinking that it's A.
I'm sorry, it's B, Daphne Paris. Oh boy, guys! Oh boy, we're struggling here.
Coming down to the wire, huh?
I just don't want to sing the higher notes. I know all the answers. So.
Oh God. Okay. John, who was the first Black female opera singer to appear at Carnegie Hall? Was it A, Jessie Norman, B, Cissy Aretta Jones, or C, Leontine Price?
Is it B?
John, you are correct. You are correct, and you are moving on to the fa round. Oh God! I know it's getting
for Fantwans.
It's getting hot here, and you know what?
Yeah.
We're gonna end this at the fa round, John. If you win this, if you get this, you win. Okay, because we're running out of time, and I'm running out of questions. So, Mike, you need John to get one wrong, and you to get two right to win this game. John.
Yes, go.
Singspiel is a form of opera in what country? Spain, Germany, or France?
I know that Spiel is a German word. So it must be.
John, it's Germany. Germany is correct. For the length, setting the time, and my lack of preparedness, I am claiming, John, you still hold the opera title here at Verbal Shenanigans. Congratulations, Mike. Plus, the audience didn't want to hear Mike go that high in his voice. Mike, I'm going to give you one more John question just for the hell of it.
Ooh.
Okay. And actually, you know what? You kind of already answered it, but here we go. Who was Jonathan's partner on Britain's Got Talent?
Charlotte.
That is correct, Charlotte Giaconelli.
Oh.
Guys, good job. Good job.
No
Way to
losers.
be good sports. Way to be good sports. Mike, I'm sorry. We can work on our opera on other episodes, but for now, John's going to claim that title.
I think that was a wonderful redemption at the end there. There are no losers here, only good willing participants. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I hold grudges. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're only going to interview Ashley and Pudsey for the rest of Verbal Shenanigans. The real winners of Britain Got Talent.
Yeah, you got me. You got me there.
So, John, first off, always thank you for coming on. We will certainly reach out again and bother you, and I will message you again down the line to come back on for what other reiteration we have and different things to ask you and what's going on in John's life. So I know you can't tell us a lot, but if people want to check you out or know what is coming immediately or very soon in the next couple of weeks or months, what is something that people can look forward to? And where should they check you out?
Thank you. Thank you for your time, and it's always a pleasure to be on. And you can check me out. It's John Antoine or Jonathan Antoine with no H, Jon, please. And I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm trying to inspire people with the words that I speak and the words that I sing. And hopefully, if you check out my posts, even if you're not looking to, listen to some music, you leave with a smile on your face. That's all that really matters to me.
Absolutely. Mike, you look like you have a final something cooking up.
No, I threw the Ashley and Pudsey thing out there, and I was going to ask him. My final question was, do you ever keep in touch with any of them? But unfortunately, Pudsey passed away a couple years back, for what I understand. So.
Yeah.
But I do still have quite a few people who are on the show with me on Facebook. I haven't checked my Facebook in a while, but it's nice to know that they're still out there, and we're all people, and that's beautiful.
John, thank you so much again. Your fans are great. You're great, which is why we constantly like to have you back on. And it's just such a good time talking to you. And we wish you best of luck. Keep the fitness up. Keep the music going. And I'm very excited for these side projects, these metal projects. I really, really hope to see them at some point or hear them at least. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there and continue the hard work, man.
Thank you so much. Stay safe. And what can I say? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you a million times.